guys, Ash here coming at you today in Watcher of Realms. I'm not alone, I'm joined by Hell Hades, where it all started here, man, on the channel.
You talking to me?
Was me and you collaborating, talking about how much we love this brand new game called Watcher of Realms. Now we're seasoned experts at the game. Okay, I kid a little bit. We're still learning, of course, we're still learning, but yeah. I'm just gonna be real. I look back at my content like 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, dude, what was I talking? I have no idea what I was talking about, you know?
Yeah,
like, you learn so much in a game that's new. We all do, you know?
The community's really cool, or perhaps a little bit evil, but they point it out real fast. Like, dude,
Like,
what the hell are you doing?
Hey, you idiot. With the capital M-O. You did whatever. You're like, yeah, okay, I'm never gonna make that mistake again, which is true. Like, that's how you learn in these games, especially us kind of learning on the fly. I want to kind of start with your overall impressions of the game. Like, is there anything negative at all? Because, you know, I love it.
I mean, I love it. It's literally the first game I turn on, I get through, like, I want to push levels, I want to push my heroes up.
Yeah.
So for me, it's the game that I want to play right now. It's like, I'm loving the game.
What is your favorite? What do you find yourself gravitating towards the most in the game in terms of, like, what do you just enjoy naturally the most, if there's any area?
Yeah, I tell you what, there's actually a lot. Like, I do like bouncing around, but for me, I guess at the moment, I'm trying to push Guild Boss as hard as I can. So, and I'm seeing almost like a bit like what you said there. Every 2 or 3 days, I get a bit of a boost. I get a bit of a spike as I've, like, you know, leveled out a few more heroes. I've got a few more upgrades, got my gear improved, and then I go again. It's like, right, I'm not going to use the auto fight today. I'm going to see if I can push to the next chest, the next level. So for me, I'm finding that super cool, actually.
That's
how
awesome.
about you?
To your point, I asked the question, then I'm like, how would I answer this? I like everything almost. It's exactly what we keep saying. Is I'm sure a lot of people, the viewers, you let us know if there's something, if you feel the same way. But I do my faction trial every day. I do my tide every day. I do my guild boss every day, and then I just kind of work on what I need at the time. But I enjoy, if I'm trying to build, I might have to, you know, try to get a, try to farm a promotion raid, make sure that I can get as high as I can. Some of them, I think I've cleared most of them at this point, but I really enjoyed that for a while. And then I would build certain heroes for certain faction trials. And so I just really enjoy everything. I enjoy, I think, the most building new heroes, really, and just trying them out, you know, and in new areas of the game. And I love, because I was so weak on any melee units when I started this game. I went, and I guess this is my first thing that I wish I knew, right, is I didn't build enough defenders, I didn't build enough fighters, I didn't build enough healers. I was like mage and marksman. It was cool. But then I sucked at, like, gear raid 3, at artifact raid, like in certain areas I just really sucked, or artifact I should say. And then the promotion raids, you know, so I wish I had been a little bit diversified, a little bit more in the early game. What would be your big regret in the early game in terms of where you spent your time or anything like that?
I think one of the biggest call outs for me in terms of I wish I knew it is, I wish I knew how good the marketplace is, you know, the Dwarven Association.
Yes.
I mean, I'm in it all the time now. Like, every day I'm like, hit every refresh I use. Any gold refresh, I will do it. Like, it's just really, really useful in this game. And in other games that we play, Raid Shadow Legends for sure, the market is just a waste of time. So it's literally, once you're past level 1, you never go there again, other than to try and find, you know, like a blue shard. So in here, I'm buying out all of the green units. I'm buying any of the insignias with the gold. I'm looking for gear early on. So, you know, gear raids for me, I probably wasted a lot of energy in gear raids where I could have just bought some early gear and, like, used a shop until I was ready to, like, really start pushing gear raids. You know, you find some shards in here. You find stamina pots, which you want to buy every single time if they're on, like, a discount. So it really is a cool feature in the game. Like, it feels weird. It's like, I want to look in there. When it refreshes, I'm in it. And I'm like, what can I pick up today? What juicy little treats has he got in there for me today? Okay,
be real with me. Be real. Because I agree 100%. And this is, like, embarrassing to admit, but in my beginner's guide, I said, hey, make sure you use your shop, right? I said it, but then I didn't really, you know, I don't know why, but I thought I didn't really understand. You know, I said it like thinking that it was good advice, which it was, but I didn't refresh every day. So I want to ask you, how many times do you what is your refresh threshold? Because one thing I should point out too is whether you spend or you're free to play, I kind of, with that Raid Shadow Legends mentality, Hades, I kind of think not even free to play necessarily, but like it's for non-spenders and only beginners, because all the stuff sucks basically for the most part, right? Like once in a while, Ancient Shard is the best you can hope for in Raid. But in this game, like now, even if you're a spender, all it's going to change is your threshold of what you'll buy. Like, oh, I'll be like, oh, auto fight chances, I might need those, I'll buy them. But as a free to play, I might not, you know? So we each have our threshold. The same thing with the refreshes. So how much do you usually refresh? Like, what's the price that you're like, okay, I'm not going to refresh anymore?
Yeah, I don't refresh for diamonds personally.
Okay,
I go
That's good
all
advice.
the way on gold. Like I'm literally like gold all day long, and I'll use all of them right the way through. Like and this is not what I did initially. Like this is what I've started doing over the last probably week. Before that, I was like, I just used the free ones, and didn't buy as much as I should have bought. Then I kind of started to use the 500 gold ones, thinking, well, hold on, this shop's actually pretty good. Now I use all of the gold ones, and I just stop when it hits diamonds. Because although I spent early on, I've not been plowing the cash in. I did drop a couple $100 on the first weekend, and then I'm now officially 3 weeks free to play. But
that is
not by choice or anything like that.
That's my number two thing, though, man. That's my number. I'm glad it's a good segue, because for me, I spent a little bit more than you in the beginning, because I had the mentality, not a ton more, but I probably spent around like 400-ish. Because I had the mentality of, listen, I know I'm going to make a YouTube channel in this game. I don't know what the hell I'm doing in this game, and I want to progress to the mid game so I can experience, so I know what I'm talking about. But it was, in hindsight, that was a mistake. I should have experienced the early game a bit more, so I had a better feel for the early game, because now I have to go back and, you know, concentrate on the storyline and see what they're trying to make us do and blah, blah, blah. But I tried to like blow through that tutorial content. I'm like, boring. Tried to spend my way through, you know, and I probably spent money on stupid stuff in the shop, you know, that wasn't good deals or whatever. And I didn't recognize, I feel like, and I've heard from a lot of my viewers, I'm not just saying this, but like they give you so many good heroes in this game, man. It's really, dare I say this out loud, especially coming from Raid, it just feels like they're overly generous in some areas, very generous, you know? Like it's like, oh, Olog is better than all of my hard to get legendary defenders, or arguably better, or at least in the same conversation. Oh, Mari's going to be a day 3 free champion, is going to be using everywhere. Oh, Wrath I'm going to be using everywhere.
Is so big,
oh, I have to, I can't use, you know, whatever DPS because I need Cuke on my team. Like, dude, there's so many really genuinely good heroes in this game that you just get, that I almost feel like it's probably cliche advice, but you don't have to worry so much. I mean, summoning is great, but even summoning, like you're gonna fall your way into some good legendaries, I feel like, you know?
And even the fusion, so Abomination, I think is just a really good unit. Like it's helped me. So I pulled one rather than
so did I, but I still am gonna fuse them.
I think you're right. They do a lot of the right things in terms of, and it's actually a nice variety. Yeah, so you've got Lightlock's actually not a bad healer. Wrath, good fighter, damage dealer.
Yeah, Lightlock is a good call out. Yeah.
Harry is another good, not a damage dealer, but a good kind of like support mage. And yeah, I think they've done a good job of variety in terms of the heroes you can just pick up.
You got Maul, like, there's some really good, If
we're talking heroes, just in terms of something which I definitely made a mistake on early on, even though I knew I shouldn't really, is like skill ups. So I think I threw skill ups quite randomly around the place rather than try to like focus on heroes that I thought were going to really impact. And that's fine, I think, when you're using the dust, but when you start to get to need
the crystals,
kind of like the crystals, they're way more rare. They're way more hard to get. So probably I wish I'd kind of like pushed for my best, certainly legendaries and epics to a certain degree. I wish I'd kind of forced their skills first before, just kind of like spreading it around all my units.
Yeah, that's a really good call out. They are very hard to get, honestly. And I'm in the same boat. Do you have like any legendary fully booked out to say, you know, or crystalled out?
No.
Skilled
No,
out?
I do not.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
but almost all of them have got some skills. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, yeah.
I'm the same with you though. I wish in the beginning, to your point, exact same point, but like I wish I had just done the dust, and then when you get to the skills, only use it for the best of the best. I don't have any legendary fully skilled out either, but I have one. I have Hatsu, very, very close. Only missing one, but again, like it sounds obvious here, but paying attention to the skills, like I'm not going to waste for invisibility duration plus 5 seconds. Sure, it's great. Like that's my last skill that I need on her, but it's so pricey. I only have one legendary skill crystal that I really wanted to count, you know, so I'm not using it because I feel I can get by a little bit longer without the invisibility. I'll tell you a big mistake that I made, and it has to do with gearing heroes in this game, is I basically applied all of the same rules of Raid Shadow Legends to this game. And what I learned is 2 things. Number one is in the early game on rare gear and epic gear, it's actually better to go flat stat for most heroes in the game. And I just have it in my head that flat stat's always awful, you know? Yeah. So I basically trashed all of that gear, and honestly, let's be real, like the rare and epic gear in this game, you're not gonna use it after a month or whatever the timeline is. You're not gonna use it at all. So why even bother? Like, use what's best, which is flat stat, which sounds weird to say. So that's number one. Did you know that as well early on? I
didn't know that, but I have been told a number of times, like some of the heroes that got just a low base. Yeah, so I'm looking at Dolores here on my screen right now, and she's got an incredibly low base attack. So people have been calling it out to me, like you should just stick flat attack stuff on Dolores rather than attack bonus stuff. And same sort of mentality of, you know, flat's always going to be worse. It's probably going to be just kind of binned off. And I guess in gearing in this game, a lot, and I mean a lot of your heroes need a ton of attack. Like,
yes, that was my next point. Yep.
It's almost an imbalance.
DPS in this game is so attack based, right? And to your, like, I feel like in Raid, it's kind of the opposite. Obviously,
a bit more spread, isn't it?
It matters, but in Raid, it's all about crit rate, crit damage. I mean, or I should say it's weight heavier, at least in that game. Whereas here, dude, it's pretty crazy. I'm not sure if you've tried this, but it's pretty. All you have to do, if you doubt this advice, all you have to do is, like, for example, I have Hex on the screen right now. He has 112% crit rate. If I took off his crit rate, I think I must have it on the bangle, and I do, and I put attack percentage there, he probably would out damage without even having all the crit rate, which is insane. But crit damage and attack are really important. Attack is really, really important, to your point, in this game. I just did not know that early on in terms of the stats and how they scale.
In essence, what I've been told, again, I've been told this rather than kind of gone out and tested it myself, but you need a certain amount of attack to overcome enemy defense so you can actually start hitting properly. And then once you've done that, you start to then build crit rate and crit damage. Like if I look at an end game person's build, in fairness, they are crit capped. They do have a ton of attack. They've got a ton of crit damage. Like all of those stats start to matter. But for anyone who's kind of like, you know, like us really, less than a couple of months in, you just won't have the gear to make that stuff happen. So that's why people basically focus on the attack, just to make sure that they don't start getting this almost like weak paper hit type of thing going on, like paper cuts, you know, type of damage.
That's a good point too. It's like, it's not like you don't want to ignore crit rate at all. Like ideally you want 100% crit rate still as well, but attack is so important on your damage dealers in this game. And I think that, like, this is obvious that we probably both called out from the very beginning, but like promoting in this game, I was late on promotion. I remember the first time that I had an Ivy League collab. I remember she's like, Ash, you should really promote your heroes. And I'm like, I'm working my way up. And she's like, well, because I don't know, like I'm an idiot. And I'm like, oh, I need to farm some more insignia 2s or 3s. And it's just like, no, like promote them now. Promote them, like go do it and promote them now, because the stats you gain are insane. And I just held off way too long for whatever dumb reason on promoting. Another mistake I made is on Wrath. You mentioned him earlier that you love him too, is now I do have him A5, but I mean, he's so important to get there. But I mean, I was using, I forgot what they're called, but you know the things that you get that are just like wild cards?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I used them on other heroes. So actually, I took way longer than I needed to, frankly, to get Wrath to Awaken 5. And I could have gotten him a little bit earlier, probably like a few weeks. And he's so powerful in Awaken 5, I would say, because he can self-sustain, essentially, I would say that he should probably be the first priority for most players out there, considering A, he's free after 14 days, and B, you get one of his stones, Awakening Stones, after, I think, a month and a half or something like that in the game. So that will help you. Yeah,
I'm in this funny position. Like I've got another one of those kind of like awakening crystals. He's currently awakened 4 for me, and I'm like, they're that impatient.
Just do it.
Like, well, yeah, this is it. Like I know
do you
I'm
have
gonna get the 5th one in like whatever it is, 10 days or something.
Okay, forget it. Don't do it then. Don't do it. I wasn't sure if you had that one yet. The
no,
login.
I've not had it yet. So I'm just kind of like, but also I want him to be awakened 5 because I know that he gets a big old power spike at 5. But yeah. It's one of those kind of like, should you, shouldn't you? You know, it's that patience thing.
My rule of thumb is if it's, well, on him, I would wait because you're going to get it anyway, right? But generally speaking, like if it's one of your most used heroes, I invest. You know, I just like, if I'm on the fence, I just invest. Another dumb mistake, this is a very dumb one and obvious, but I don't know how you're doing on the hero's path, but I just slacked on it and then I had to spend like hours and I'm not even close to caught up where I need to be. How are you doing on the Volca hero's path, by the way, the storyline?
On the storyline, I guess what am I on? I'm on like stage 16. So
okay, I'm on stage 7, bro. I'm on stage 7.
No,
I'm slacking so bad, man. I don't know what it is about me because I don't have Ramen 2 Drake Split either, and it's like I don't know why, but like I'm so obsessed with building and improving my raids and everything that I don't do my damn storyline. And I should, man.
It's actually certainly in this game, it's really good in terms of. You know, you spoke about it earlier, like, oh, I feel like, should I be here? Should I be here?
Yeah.
It directs you pretty well in terms of, you know, just go and find out what's going on here. Push yourself to level 13 here. Go and do, you know, so before I knew it, every now and then, I guess I did it with other things as well. Every now and then I'm just like, right, let me just go and pick up another 2 or 3 levels of storyline. Yeah. And it does. It just kind of like snowballs you into, right, actually, I ended up spending an hour doing storyline just today. And like, it pushed me up 3 more levels. And I got a bunch of stuff, but also I progressed in a lot of different areas of the game, which I guess is more important, really. You know, because there's actually a lot to do in the game, and you can easily just say, well, today I'm just going to burn my stamina in gold. Today I'm going to burn my stamina and get experience.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah,
but that
it does help you. Yeah.
Is there one area of the game that you just feel like you're woefully neglecting? Mine is Void Rift.
I've done the first level of Void Rift. Have you done that yet?
Yeah, but that's all, I think.
Yeah,
maybe,
so that's all I've done
a couple. Well. I don't know. Yeah,
it's hard, to be fair. It was like, I did a video on it. I was just like, I thought it was going to be, honestly, I thought I was going to do about half an hour video just to go through the Void Rift.
Yeah.
I spent about 3 hours recording this thing because I was dying, man. The boss was hard. Like, really hard on the final. I spent about 2 hours on the final boss.
Oh, man, that's wild, dude. That's wild. Who's your most used heroes? Even legendaries, like who do you, who's your favorites on the account?
Yeah, so Set Ram I love. Like I don't know if you've got him, but he's super fun.
He's a boost. A lot of range on that guy.
And my most used mage is Kame as a legendary. Again, pumps out tons of AoE damage. Use Dolores since I've got her a ton of the time. Then it's Wrath, Vortex.
Abomination, I imagine.
Medan. Abomination as well. And I've got Ajax as well. Who?
Oh, me too.
It's really cool. Yeah, very cool. So
I just made a video on him yesterday. Do you like? He's aesthetically, he's so cool looking.
Yeah. He's quite awkward to place. I find like it's.
Yeah, he's got like big range, but he's like
range is weird compared to other heroes.
He also blocks everybody. He's so big. It's like a dude wearing a riding a dragon. For those who don't know, so he's like, it's very interesting. Do you regret building any heroes?
I put quite a bit of effort into Zealous, and definitely not kicking out the sort of damage that my Kame is, those sort of ones.
Yeah.
And I also I took Theowin up to 5-star and put quite a lot of skill ups into him. But again, I've not 6-starred him, so it's hard to know if it was a waste or not. But it feels like he's underwhelming compared to some of the other dudes that I've got around the same sort of level. And I mean, like, how many 6 stars do you have right now?
I have Zealous, and thank you for the call out. So now I'm not going to build them.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
You're going to hear from all the Zealous fan club in the comments too. Be like, he's not that bad.
Don't ever underestimate the heart of a champion.
That's probably like good last thing that we wish we knew is that don't like unfairly. I had the tendency to do the same thing, man. Like unfairly comparing heroes that just don't have as good gear or promotions or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they have to be on the same level to compare them, you know? How many do I have? I don't know. I'm probably gonna sound 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 17?
17 6 stars.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
20?
I mean, that's a lot. That's well, compared to me, that's a lot. I've got like
26? Mine is
Down.
like, yeah, well, I invited, you said you like Lightlock?
Yeah.
Okay. I like him, but boy, I got clickbaited by all those videos pre-nerf on him.
Oh, right. Yeah, I mean,
I'm joking.
Those.
It's not clickbait.
Yeah.
I just didn't know.
Yeah,
And I watched them.
exactly.
I'm like, dude, he's a monster. And then I'm like, oh, wait, he
He's
got
not
nerfed.
doing that. Yeah,
Crap.
someone said to me, oh, you could have just used Lightlock and someone else, and that would have like cleared Guild Raid 1 up to level 18. I'm like, he's never doing that. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. He does not do that. And then, obviously, he's been nerfed since then. So,
I overestimated my 6 stars, by the way. I have around 15-ish. Yeah.
Okay.
How many do you have?
Yeah, so I'm on 10.
My most used is Hatsit, as I told you earlier. I hope you get her someday. She's amazing.
Yeah, I wonder, like, I'd love to see her up against my Kame, because there's some damage being popped out there. That's for sure.
I will put her up against. I have Comet as well. I will put them up against, but they're quite different too. I also love Hex. So those are my two most used. But Comet, by the way, is right up there with them. I don't mean to say that like he's a schlub or anything like that. Anyway, listen, we're gonna do a collab talking more about our Watcher experience on your channel as well. So folks should head over to Hell Hades Watcher of Realms channel, where we'll continue this conversation, talk about more impressions, mistakes, heroes, and all the good stuff. So Hades, thanks for joining me, man. Really appreciate it.
No, thanks so much. Loving this game. So yeah,
same.
Going.
Guys, thanks so much for watching. Check out Hades Watcher channel again in the description below. And as always, take care, guys.